usually comes from China, and they'll buy something for like $1, 2 or 3, right? So 25%, so how much did Mr. Bruss pay for the calculator? We don't know. We'll let that be X. How much Mr. Bruss paid for the calculator was X. He's selling it for $15. We know that equals 15. The price is 25% more than what he paid for it. Well, he paid X for it, right? He paid X dollars for that calculator, but he's going to sell it for 25% more. So he's going to add on 25%, 0.25 of that X. So he bought the calculator for who knows how much. He's going to add on a 25% increase to the price, which ended up being $15. That means he paid less than $15 for it. Solve. One and a quarter is 1.25. Divided by 1.25. And you get $12. Mr. Bruss paid $12. I'm guessing that was probably a scientific calculator, unless you bought it used from a garage sale. These TI-83s on the wall, they retail for around $100. Get them for like $110 with tax. Buy them at a garage sale for 50 cents. You'll need those for college. Last time I checked, professors do not supply those. All right, this is probably the most difficult problem we have. So John, he's an employee. Okay. His first year of working, he made a 15% raise. And then, the second year, he received a 20% raise. And after all that was done, he made $80,000. So how much was he making his first year, which would be 2 years ago? Notice when I was reading that, I was changing the sentence to something that made more sense to me. So we need to subtract off. So first, 80,000. We'll start with that. So again, John was a very hard-working employee. He received a 15% raise after his first year of work. He received an additional 20% raise after he became the VP for his company. As a VP, he made 80 grand. How much was he originally making during his first year of work? So we got to go back 2 years. So let's first find what he made last year. Well, last year, he got a 20% raise. So that would be whatever he made plus 20%. And that ended up being 80,000. Now what that sentence will tell me is how much, when I solve for x, how much he made last year. And then once I know how much he made last year, then I could go figure out the 15% and figure out how much he made 2 years prior. So solving this, 1 and 0.2 is 1.2. Divided by 1.2. Divide 80,000 by 1.2 and I get 66,666. So if you take $66,666 and you add on 20% of that, 666.6 twice, you would get $80,000. I knew it. The math wasn't coming out right. And 67 cents. I don't know why they dropped the change. The change is important. 66 cents he's getting, that's important. So all we found was that last year, he around 66 grand. Almost 67 grand. So now, we need to take off 15%. And we'll let X, we'll try to find what he made the year before that. And I'm going to change the variable, but you could use X technically. So the first year he made, say, Y. And then he got a 15% rate. And he made 66,666.67. Running out of room here. That always happens, it seems. 1.15. Divide 66666.67 divided by 1.15, and I get 57,971. And a penny. You could put down a penny if you want. I won't discount it if you don't. I don't care about a penny. I think they're worthless. So, let's check our work. He made $57,971 his first year. And then how much of a raise did he get? First year, 15%. So what I would do is I just multiply that by 1.15. What that does is that his original amount plus 15% of that. Now he's at 66,660. And then he got a, was it 20% raise? So times 1.2. I'm not sure what's wrong with this calculator, but it's not showing everything. But that is almost 80 grand, right? So I am confident I am correct. If there was room on here, I don't have room, I would say John made $57,971 his first year before he became a VP. That was 2 years ago. Questions? All right, couple things. How do you feel about using equations to model situations with percentages? Are you a 1? You have no idea what I was doing today? 2, you need help? 3, you understand, but you're not quite to the tutoring stage? And 4, you understand, you could tutor it. Maybe either I did a really good job teaching this or you already knew this. It could be either one. How do you feel about using equations to model situations with percentages? On Excel to help you. Percent word problems. 90. And also multi-step problems with percents. You have to know percents. The percents is something you definitely use in real life all the time. Good job, you make $10 an hour. And after 40 hours, they give you time and a half. So if you make $10 an hour and time and a half, well, half of your original time would be 5. So you'd be making $15 an hour. And I can guarantee you have to check your paychecks. They're not always correct. When I was in school, I had an employer that always found a way to shortcut me 15 minutes. 15 minutes, if you're making $10 an hour, it's $2.50. Multiply that by 10 employees, they just profited $25. So it's always a good idea. Percents are something you definitely need to know in life. And then homework. Modeling percentages. Yes. All right, so you have an Excel to work on. You have a homework to work on. Questions?